Hi, I'm HYPHOTHESIS, and I'm going to discuss a part of subtopics found in Chapter 1, which is hypothesis. Hypothesis is the important features of a good research. It means if you want to have a good research, as a researcher like us, hypothesis is one of the things to make a good research. Now, let's define hypothesis is. Hypothesis is a tentative solution to a particular problem which may be accepted or rejected by your professor or advisor, but depending on what the topic given to a research. And this part includes the operational and conceptual definition of significant terms used in the research paper. We have 7 types of hypotheses: simple hypothesis, complex hypothesis, empirical hypothesis, null hypothesis, alternative, logical, and statistical hypothesis. But in this topic, we focus on null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, and statistical hypothesis. The function of hypothesis. As a researcher, seek to guess the behavior of one variable over the other. In this case, the researcher offers the tentative guesses or probable action of such variables, or what will happen or what will be the behavior of the variable and their intersection with one another. First, introduce the thinking of the researcher's objective or the target research on their mind. Second, the next stage is the structure of the research report after the presenting the variable in the study. And 3, identify the characteristic of the researcher and bring the research to a deeper analysis of the variable in the study. 5, identify what is the research topic and contemplates of the study. And number 6, hypotheses provide the format of the presentation, analysis, and interpretation. The good hypothesis, and they have a characteristic. First, it should be reasonable. Second, it should be state the type of analysis between the variable, whether the differences or the relationship. In general, we have 2 types of hypothesis and how they differ. First is research hypothesis. Research hypothesis, a temporary solution to a set of problem using their words. It should be statistical hypothesis. This is the essence of inferential statistic problem that needs decision making. A research hypothesis will be better understood if discussed with the statement of problem, especially since not all statement problem that needs have research hypothesis. For example, statement of problem. The first main step in writing the research paper, it should be stated precisely, accurately, and clearly. The problem can express in question or declarative form. And in a statement of problem, start with what, and the statement of problem is present only data. In letter A, what is the profile of managers in the company in terms of the following variables: gender, civil status, educational attainment, and work experiences. In letter B, is there significant difference in the leadership skills when respondents are grouped according to the personal variables? As you can see, in letter A, do not need a hypothesis, but in letter B needs a hypothesis because the problem on letter B that needs analysis. So the research hypothesis of letter B is leadership skills of middle managers do not significantly differ when grouped according to age. Second, leadership skills of middle managers do not significantly differ when grouped according to gender. Number 3. Leadership skills of middle managers do not significantly differ when grouped according to educational attainment. And 4, leadership skills do not significantly differ when grouped according to work experiences. One will observe that all above mentioned hypotheses are in the null form. The word no does not express a negative concept, but expressly a neutral one. It shows that the researcher is objective and has no preconceived notion about the results, but is ready to accept a different one or when proven. There is, however, another possible way of expressing a research hypothesis. For example, in a positive one. Take this problem. Is there a significant relationship between age and leadership skills of managers? The following research hypothesis may be offered as temporary solution. Research hypothesis 1 is a null form. There is no significant relationship between age and leadership skills. In research hypothesis number 2 is a positive, directional form. The researcher hypothesized that the older manager is the better the leadership skills he possesses. In second of types of hypothesis is statistical hypothesis. The second is statistical hypothesis. Similarly, these are two types of statistical hypothesis. First is null hypothesis. Null in mathematics it means zero or empty. The hypothesis is always the first statistical to be tested. It takes the existence of relationship between independent and dependent variables. The formula of null hypothesis is HO. This sign can include. The second one is alternative hypothesis. A position that states something is happening. It is usually consistent with the research hypothesis because it is constructed from literature review, previous student, or etc. The formula of alternative hypothesis is H1. This sign can include. When the null is rejected, there are three alternative hypotheses to choose from. First is non-directional hypothesis. Does not state the direction of the difference and indicates only that a difference exists. The second one is positive directional hypothesis. Implies a difference in the positive direction. Next, and lastly, the negative directional hypothesis implies a difference in a negative direction. Next is assumption. Assumptions are statements that are taken for granted or considered as true, even though they have not been scientifically tested like a hypothesis. It is taken as a simple truth. Assumptions are principles; those are accepted as being true based on logic or reason but without proof or verification. Next in assumption is scope and delimitation of the study. Some called scope and limitation of the study is preferred. Scope defines clearly the four W's: where, what, when, and who of the study. And it will not go beyond that. When the other hand, they preferred or used and limitations are expressed. And it will be mean it is a base, aspect, or control. In the seven subtopics, we have then significance of the study. One of the most important considerations in the choice of a topic is the fact that is important and that is of value. The study should have an importance to you, to the school, or the community, or that will end up developing a policy that will benefit the national leadership. In education, in the university, or in the community, you should be able to mention the sectors that will be benefited by the study, as well as contribution to current research and knowledge. And the last topic of subtopics in Chapter 1 is definition of terms. This part includes the operational and conceptual definition of significant terms used in the research paper. Therefore, the definition of terms is not footnoted, since they are operational or how they use in the study, and it is not a technical concept. And this is the end of our presentation. Again, I'm Jose Paladera. Thanks for watching.